Hey everybody, this is Colin with Connect the Watts, and welcome to our complete beginner's guide to the COROS Pace 2 watch. In this guide, I'm going to be covering everything you need to know about the COROS Pace 2, especially as a beginner. That way you have a more complete understanding of all the various settings and metrics, and really how to read and use all of the cool features that this watch has. So that being said, if you like connected fitness content like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and let's get started. All right, so first let's go ahead and check out the COROS Pace 2 home screen. Now you'll notice that the watch is dim most of the time in order to save battery. To unlock the screen, simply turn the dial to fully unlock it. Now there are several numbers that you'll be able to check out just from this home screen. The first is your overall step count here. Next is your total calorie count for the day. And this number indicates your current heart rate. Now this number is only checked once every 10 minutes when you're not working out, unless you change the options, and I'll show you how to do that later. Now up here you can see the percentage of battery life you have remaining, and here we have additional metrics which you can rotate through by pressing the lower button. So here we have what time the sunrise will be. We also have sunset. We have your current elevation. We have how many floors you've walked up in terms of elevation throughout the day. Now from here, we can spin this dial to see, additional metrics. So if we scroll it up, you can see your total sleep from the previous night, as well as a breakdown of, how much time you were awake or in REM or deep sleep. Then if you have EvoLab unlocked, you'll have your running performance shown here of your previous run. And we're going to talk more about this later. You can also click the button here to see your race predictor, basically what COROS predicts you'll be able to run each of these times in, as well as your splits. Next, we have your fatigue, base fitness, and load impact numbers. Again, we'll go over all of this in much more detail when we get into the app. If you click the dial from here, you'll see your 7-day total load, as well as your 4-week intensity distribution. Scrolling down, you'll see your current recovery level. So it says I'm 100% fully recovered. Now this will obviously go down the harder you work out. And when it is below 100%, it will give you some time frames where it says fully recovered here for how long it will take before you are more fully recovered. Next up, we have again your total calorie burn, as well as step count, as well as your daily exercise time, and how many floors you've walked or gone up throughout the day. And here we have your current heart rate. This is again measured every 10 minutes unless you change that in the options. And if you click the scroll dial here, you can actually scroll through the last 6 hours or more of your data. Again, you can change some of the options, which we'll go over later. Next up, we have your current elevation. Again, you are able to scroll through here. Now you can see my elevation changed randomly between 6 and 7 a.m. And this actually wasn't the case, which leads me to one other thing I wanted to mention here is that COROS watches rely on a barometer for elevation readings. So it basically converts the air pressure around you to determine elevation. But other factors like weather changes, heaters and air conditioners, strong wind, or even dust getting into the sensor can affect these elevation readings on this widget. Now COROS watches do calibrate the elevation when you are using the GPS during outdoor workouts for better accuracy. But if you do want to manually calibrate the elevation without starting to work out, I'll go over how to do just that also in the settings portion. Lastly, COROS also does suggest that you clean the barometer sensor on the watch with running water or an air duster to ensure more accurate elevation readings. Now the barometer for the Pace 2 is located on the top of the watch underneath the watch band. Now luckily taking off the watch band is fairly simple and easy to do. It's got this quick release system, so you just pull that little knob there, it comes right off, and maybe you can see those little holes, and those are where the sensors are. All right, so next up we have the barometric or atmospheric reading, and this is measured in HPA or hectopascal pressure to detect air pressure changes, which you can use to predict and detect weather changes. Like the previous two screens, you can click the scroll wheel to go back over some of the previous data to see some of the changes. And there are settings you can do to adjust all this as well. Now, next we have the temperature. Now, this temperature is really used to measure the temperature for water while you are swimming, but it can also detect air temperature as well, but not really when it's on your wrist, since your body heat will sort of screw that up. But if you take the watch off and you let it sit for around 30 minutes, you can get a pretty accurate air temperature. Finally, we have the daily time for solar noon, sunrise, sunset, dawn, and dusk. Now, to get to the additional settings and widgets, all you need to do is press and hold this bottom button here. So starting with the system, there is the do not disturb option, which you can turn on if you don't want any notifications when it's paired with your phone. Next up, we have the workout interface, and here you can change the background color of the watch for when you're working out between white and black. I prefer white. And then you can change the font size. You can turn auto scroll on, which means it'll change between various watch faces. And you can also choose the pace at which it alternates between those screens. Here you can also choose whether or not you want message and call alerts on while you work out. Next up gives you the ability to pair your phone. Now, you'll probably do this automatically when you download the app, but it's also an option here. Now, under sensors, we have the optical heart rate sensor, the barometer, and calibration. So for the optical heart rate, we have the ability to change the daily heart rate from every 10 minutes, kind of like I was showing you when we were scrolling through it, or you can go to real time. Now, real time is a measurement of your heart rate every second, and when you work out, real time is on, but in order to save battery, for the most part, this is automatically set for every 10 minutes, so I suggest keeping it there, unless you have a specific situation in which you really need accurate second-to-second or minute-to-minute heart rate data outside of a workout. Now, workout heart rate here on means that it will go into that second-by-second heart rate when you start the workout. Next up is the barometer, and here you can change the data source from sea level pressure to station pressure. You can also change some of the display range times. I have it set for 6 hours, but you can also change that to 12 or 18 hours that you can scroll through on your phone. You can change the pressure units or even get storm alerts. And what I really like here is the information panel on barometric direction. And what this is a quick explanation of how to read these graphs to get a better understanding of what they mean. Next up is calibration. And here you can calibrate your elevation, your compass, or your thermometer. Now, to calibrate elevation, you can enter it manually yourself, or if you're outside, you can use GPS. Just make sure to stand in more of an open area when you are calibrating the elevation to get the most accuracy. Now, next up is accessories, and this just allows you to add and pair additional accessories, maybe like a heart rate strap if you want to wear one of those. COROS has additional running accessories which you can check out that can also pair with this. You can also pair this with some rowers and treadmills and other indoor equipment as well. Now, if you check out more settings, you can change the language. You can change the watch face and theme color. So when you go to the app, I'll show you, you can choose several watch faces that you can have uploaded on this watch. So there are more than this. These are just the few that I have chosen that I can select through here. But also you can click on the watch face that you want and change some of the coloring of it as well. So that's kind of a cool option. Now here you can change gesture backlight. So this means that if you turn the watch towards your face, that the backlight will turn on. And I have it set under auto, which means that it'll only turn on between sunset and sunrise. But if you want to have this on all day, you can, or if you want to turn it off completely, you can do that too. Now here you can adjust which wrist you want to wear the watch on, as well as which side and how you want the digital dial to rotate. And finally, you can choose whether you want vibrations or tones or auto lock on. Now for auto lock, I do like adjusting this because it is set automatically to scroll to unlock in standby mode and workout mode, which is fine, but when you're working out, when I'm running, sometimes I find having to scroll to unlock the screen a little bit annoying, especially if I'm trying to change the screens, while I work out. So in order to change this, I like having this on hold to unlock. And that way I just hold the scroll while I run to unlock the screen, and then I can rotate it around. Finally, you can change your unit type, date and time, some of the satellite and device info, or choose to reset all of the settings or even turn the watch off. off. Next up, we have camera control, which allows you to connect and control various cameras like GoPro or Insta360 cameras. There's a new feature here, which allows you to find your phone if you have it connected via Bluetooth. So you just click that and your phone will start to ring. So super convenient, at least for me. The next option is do not disturb. So again, if you don't want any notifications from your phone being pushed to your watch, you can turn that on. Then we have a basic general compass. We have broadcast heart rate. So the COROS does broadcast your heart rate to other devices, but it doesn't do so automatically. You have to turn it on here. And when you turn it on during a workout, it'll automatically turn off after that workout is done. Here you can see your battery usage, and if you check this out, it'll show you like how many days it estimates you have left of your battery, and it'll give you lots of information about like what is taking up the most battery if you really need to dial that in. But you know, this watch lasts quite a long time on a single charge. Then we have your basic metronome. Here we have Ultra Max GPS mode, which utilizes a mixture of GPS as well as motion sensors and some of COROS algorithms to help extend your battery life during outdoor workouts. Now the battery life for this watch is so long that I don't think most people need to really mess with this, but if you do, just know it will use GPS for 30 seconds and then it'll use its sort of algorithm based on its motion sensors for 90 seconds, kind of going back and forth to help extend that battery life. Next up here, you have the satellite signal, so you can acquire GPS from here. We have a basic stopwatch, a timer, an alarm clock. Here you can change your watch faces exactly the same way as we did under the settings. And we also have night mode, so if you are working out at night, the watch will stay backlit the entire time. All right, so now in order to start a workout on the COROS Pace 2, you just press the scroll button up here, and here you can set what type of workout you would like to do. So there are a ton of options here, and a lot of them allow you to just start the workout or even set up a basic interval workout here without having to mess around with the app. On indoor runs, you can select virtual run, which allow the pace and cadence and heart rate to be sent to apps like Zwift when you're on a treadmill. Now, to set the accuracy on a treadmill, you will need to calibrate your indoor treadmill running. So you can do that here. And basically, it'll ask you to set this treadmill speed, and you will need to run at that speed for at least 2 miles in order to calibrate it. Now, track run is an option I really like because I like to go run at the track. And here you can actually set the lane that you are in to help better calibrate the GPS and everything to make sure that it tells you exactly how far you are going on each interval. Now, for strength workouts, when you start that, you can't select which body part you are focusing on. So if I'm doing a workout and I'm doing some squats, I might choose legs and hips. I'll start that workout for my first set, and actually it counts your reps here, and while it's not always accurate, it is surprisingly accurate for a lot of movements, including squats. And then when you're done with the set, you just push this bottom button and it'll go into a rest period. And then when you're ready for the next set, you just push it again and start your next set, and so on and so on. And what's interesting here is you can push the scroll button to pause it and go to the next part of the workout and actually change the general movement type. And this will help it better track reps, as well as give you a better total body heat map on the app or online to give you a sense of, how much you are working out each part of your body. To finish any workout, you just pause it and then you just select finish and hold that for a few seconds. It may confirm with you, and you can kind of scroll through to see what you did here. Obviously, I didn't do much. Now, recently added to the COROS watch through the latest update is you can actually delete these workouts even before they're sent to your app. So I'm going to delete this right now, and it's gone forever. Now also here you can see some of the workouts that you've created, which I'll show you how to do that later on during the app. So if I want to do the 400 meter repeat set workout that I did, I can select that I want to do it on the track, or if I want to do the same workout outdoors or indoors, I can do it anywhere, which is kind of cool. And then I can begin. You can also access your training plan if you have one set up on the app or online, and your history. So you can kind of scroll through some of your previous workouts, and you can look at some of the data for those as well. All right, so here we are on the app. You can see that it is connected to the Pace 2 on this upper left-hand screen. Now this first tab is really just to give you an outline of your current day. So it'll show you which workouts you've done so far, as well as some of the other information that we went over on the watch, like your active energy, your exercise time, your steps, your heart rate, and your sleep. But some of these you can get into more detail with, like your sleep, for example. If you click it, it'll rotate to the side and you can kind of get a little bit more information about exactly how your sleep looked at various times throughout the night. And you can select different days to see what it looked like there, or kind of get an outline of your day-to-day for the week, or even the month. Now the next tab is your workout history, and you can sort this by whichever workouts you want to see specifically. We'll just leave it on all workouts, and so you can just scroll through here and see some of the workouts you've done. And if you click on it, and if it was a workout that was outdoors with GPS, you can see the map of where you went, and you can change the map type from default to satellite to outdoors, and you can even go to like a 3D view as well here. And then here you can see all of the metrics kind of broken down for that workout. So you have your distance, your workout time, your average pace, your average adjusted pace. And what the adjusted pace is it's your pace adjusted for all of the elevation during the run. That way you can better compare one workout to the next, even if they are at different locations with different types of hills or elevation. Then you have your best mile split, your average heart rate, the calories burned, the total elevation gained, and then you have your running performance and training load. Now, training load is a specific number that COROS uses based on all of the data to determine, how much of an effect this workout was on your body. Your running performance is based on the EvoLab, which we'll go over in a minute. Basically, if your running performance is over 100, it was a better running performance relative to your previous average. If it's below 100, it's generally below average. Now here you can see your pace throughout the workout, as well as be able to alternate between that and your adjusted pace. They obviously are going to look very similar, like here, if there's not a ton of elevation during your run. You can check out your heart rate data throughout the workout, your cadence, your stride length, your running power and elevation, and as well as what sort of training effect was targeted throughout that workout. Now, training effect is basically how COROS evaluates how efficient your training was for either aerobic or anaerobic fitness training based on your load or intensity, and they have more information on the app for you to learn about that here. On this page, you can also download all these details or export this data if you want to set it to a different program. Although I do have COROS set under settings to send these workouts to Strava automatically. You can also add this workout to one of your saved routes if you would like to. So I'm going to do that right now. And you can also edit some of this as well. So you can turn the EvoLab analysis on or off. You can change the workout name, or you can modify the distance if you found that the distance was not accurate to what you did. Next up is really the EvoLab tab. Now, this portion will not be unlocked when you first get your app or watch set up. It takes about 7 runs or so, depending on how long the runs are, for it to get enough metrics and data on you for it to fully unlock. But here it'll break it down a lot of information regarding your current running fitness level. So marathon, for example, is basically its number for you on how well you would likely do on a marathon. The higher the number, the better. And if you want more information in terms of what's a good score and how it measures all this, they provide all of that analysis directly on the app. There's VO2 max, your average resting heart rate, your previous running performance, your threshold pace based on the analysis, which is always great to know, and your threshold heart rate as well. Here again are your fatigue, baseline, and load impact numbers. Now, base fitness is just the measurement for your ability to take on exercise from your long-term training. So it's based on your training load over the previous 6 weeks, with more weight in the model given to more frequent workouts. Your load impact is more of a measurement on your short-term strain on your body, and it's really calculated based on the previous 7 days of training. Now, fatigue is really just an estimation of how fatigued your body may be from the training over the past 7 days. And again, you can go through this tab on the COROS app to learn even more about all of these individual metrics. Scrolling down, you have your race predictor, which again is the EvoLab's prediction of the pace and time that you'd be able to complete various race distances at. Now, you can edit this if you would like to, but doing so will sort of adjust everything on the EvoLab. So I really don't suggest that you do that. Now here you can see all of your saved workouts, and you can even create new workouts. So for running workouts, you can create intervals and structures, based on time or distance or even training load. You can also create strength workouts as well. So you can select, the type of movement you're doing, and you can look through what they have available here, but oftentimes they may not have the exact movement, so you can just kind of create that movement and let COROS know which type of body part or muscle group it's training, and then it'll just be saved there for you in the future. Now, in terms of building these custom workouts, it's not too difficult to do in terms of like the running, biking, and swimming. It's a little bit more of a pain for the strength work, but I suggest signing into COROS online where you can access all this information and be able to build workouts, because there, just on a computer, it's much easier to do than on this app. You can also find and scan other people's workouts and add them to your workout library as well. So if you don't want to create your own workouts but want to find other ones to try out, you can definitely do that. Here you can find your training calendar. So if you have workouts scheduled in the future, you can kind of see those here. You can also scroll back and see all of the previous workouts you did kind of in this calendar format. Then we have the navigation routes library. So if you remember earlier, we saved this workout route to here, so we can look at that route and we can sync it to the watch if you would like to do it again later. Here we have a simple muscle heat map, which can give you a better idea if you're tracking your strength training on the COROS app. Personally, I take a lot of various connected fitness classes on a variety of devices, so I haven't really found it worth the time to be entering all of those into the COROS workout builder. If you're doing a more simple, straightforward strength program, it's probably very useful to add that here and be able to kind of get a sense of what you've been doing. Here you can check out your personal records for various distances on run, bike, swim, and ski. And then under settings, you can change your units. You can link your account to your email or Facebook or Apple ID. You can also add third-party apps for the app to work with. Like I said, I have it connected to Strava so that after I finish a workout on the COROS watch, it then gets sent over to the app and then gets sent over to Strava. Finally, over here, we have some device options. So under workout data, you can change how your watch looks during certain types of workouts. So if I'm doing an outdoor run, I can have 6 different watch faces that I could scroll through, and each of these can be adjusted. So I can change, how many of the metrics I want on the screen, and I can change which metric I want on each part. So this can be very useful, as there are certain things I would like to see, for example, on indoor rowing or during strength workouts compared to running. And you really just customize all of this to make it exactly the way you would like. Then we have customization. So here you can adjust which types of workouts you'll see on your watch. So, I don't do triathlons or swimming or flat water workouts very much at all. So, I can eliminate those, and it'll help decrease the amount of options I have to scroll through on my watch. Then we have the toolbox, and these are all sort of the widgets that we went over. So if there are any widgets that you find yourself never using, so for example, I'm not going to use the Ultra Max, you can take that away, and again, it'll kind of declutter the amount of options that you'll have to sort through. Here we can go to My Trainer or My Training Plan, which is pretty much exactly the same as workouts and training calendar, but just repeated over here. On watch face, there are a larger number of watch face options to choose from, and you can select which ones you would like, because on your watch, you can have up to 5 available at any one time. So if I don't find myself ever using this, I can add this one to there and replace it as one of the 5 that I can alternate on my watch. Here you can ensure that you have the most accurate GPS satellite data downloaded, which I do. You can also adjust notifications because your watch is connected to your phone via Bluetooth. You can select to have calls or text messages or emails or a variety of other notifications sent to your watch. And that's it for our complete beginner's guide to the COROS Pace 2 watch. I am working on a review as well for this watch, and that should be available this week, so you can check that out right here. If the video helped you out in any way, make sure to like and let me know in comments. I'd love to hear what you think. Thanks so much. Appreciate it as always, and I'll see you next time.